Level 1. Door Knock Collector. You press the address list under masking tape above your apartment's sink. Beside instant coffee, you check cracked prepaid phone and unpaid bills. You sort tenants into 3 labeled envelopes by payment risk. You slide blank receipts into the swollen receipt folder. Over faded work shirt, you pull on thrift store blazer. You pack the Corolla trunk kit beneath the dented lid. Before porch lights blink, you park beside the leaning duplex mailbox. At brass door chain, you face a tenant's late fee argument. Against hallway wall, you write on the carbon copy receipt pad. You photograph blue money order inside the plastic sleeve. Rain hammers stairwell windows as flickering bulbs frame your door-to-door route. Outside the laundromat, you wait beside the spinning washer. You mark partial payments with red ink and repayment dates. In the Corolla, you play landlord voicemail through dashboard speakerphone. You shield wet money order sleeve under your jacket. Behind a duplex, you use a trash can as desk. You wait beneath liquor store neon through repeated 10 more minutes. You study wrinkled old receipt through the doorway. On wet stair landing, you freeze with folder dripping. You face proof demand across the chipped kitchen table. By dome light, you count fees totaling $3,000 per month. You compare receipt numbers against blurry receipt photo. With seatbelt over folder, you drive toward the next block. At midnight, you build a crude spreadsheet on buzzing cracked laptop. You slap loose receipts into angry rows across kitchen floor. You write receipt numbers across numbered payout envelopes. In the bank line, you hold brown bank envelope underarm. You pin courthouse pamphlet beneath your coffee mug. In rattling Corolla defroster, you circle unpaid addresses on route map. At landlord's porch rail, you answer the trust question. You tape handwritten proof rule above the sink. Under kitchen light, you carry a metal receipt lockbox like a weapon. Level 2. Trust Account Operator. Under banker's glass partition, you sign the trust account paperwork. You open brass rented mailbox door with company name inside. You place embossed business cards beside clean dress shirts. At co-working desk, you scan owner agreements through portable tray. You cross forbidden phrases from the marked-up call script. You pin 55 addresses by county and payment status. At attorney's legal pad, you absorb debt collector warning. Beneath co-working desk, you chain the trust lockbox. You explain ACH reminders beside the gray folding chair. You stamp tenant files with payment method tabs. In empty conference room, you rehearse script through the speaker. You separate rent funds and operating funds into 2 bank folders. You stick yellow compliance warning to your monitor. At midnight, green, yellow, and red blocks flood the payment dashboard. You eat vending machine crackers beside yellow late payment blocks. On second monitor, you compare bank batches beside courthouse calendar. You defend trust account clause across unsigned owner contract. You count operating fee checks totaling $8,000 per month. After courthouse close, you mail outgoing welcome letters. You schedule reminder texts around legal pressure windows. You read state warning letter about unauthorized management. Against co-working wall, you stand beside rolling office chair. At licensing window, you study circled brochure copy through glass. You divide rent collection, notices, and owner communication forms. You build compliance checklist magnets across the whiteboard. With headset microphone, you call landlords about service agreements. You close old receipt book before storage. You install black file cabinet between desk and tenant chairs. Across marked contract, you face landlord complaint about slow forms. You open fresh card box with licensed operator line. At printer, you reprint welcome packets with cleaner legal language. You mark future doors with compliance costs on worksheet. You wheel empty second desk into the co-working room. Level 3. Rent desk owner. Before nail salon opens, you unlock strip mall glass door. You park used RAV4 beneath the logo sign. Behind reception window, you hang 2 team polos like uniforms. You watch assistant stamp receipts for tenants along the glass. You teach assistant from laminated ID checklist. At glass slot, you face cash dispute and missing notice. You file brass keys by property through ringing headsets. From warm printer tray, you pull owner statements. Rent day packs the office with ringing phones, stamped receipts, and lines. You check payout batch clipboard against every portal receipt. At silver laptop hinge, you run 2 dashboards cleanly. You watch toy car tap against the reception window. You intercept angry tenant beside miswritten receipt copy. Beside office coffee maker, you calm the waiting line. You hold vendor invoice folder under payment demand. On paper desk calendar, you draw repayment dates. You receive stamped deposit slip tied to $22,000 per month revenue. After closing, you wipe fingerprints from reception glass. You open conference table catalog on apartment floor. At meetup table, you pitch under plastic name tag. You accept 18-unit owner folder from the landlord. You divide intake route tabs by owner type. In one evening, you collect stacked service agreements. You build colored risk labels for NSF and payout holds. You open reversal alert email after owner payouts leave. Before lunch crowds, you run through swinging office door. You study bank manager's rate sheet after reserve refusal. Beside red unpaid check tray, you stand with assistant. You stamp high-risk payments for delayed owner payout. In one pull, you tear old payout calendar from wall. You call owners from numbered owner call sheet. Behind reception, you replace open tray with locked cash drawer. You face instant payout threat over speakerphone on conference table. At bank desk, you initial reserve account form. You place personal cashier's check into the reserve. At closeout, you watch two-signature drawer lock. You tape crooked payment window sign to the glass. With delivery dent visible, you inspect conference table corner. You face phone camera reflection during late fee dispute. You point to highlighted lease clause and dates. Beside bolted key cabinet, you sketch inspection routes. Level 4, full-service rent office. 3 branded cars roll out before sunrise towards scattered county rentals. You step from practical SUV and tailored navy blazer. Beside key room door, you check branded staff jackets. You verify key sign-out ledger beside address zones. You underline legal pauses in highlighted call manual. In parking lot, you reject bent vendor estimate. You photograph cracked hallway tile during stained hallway walkthrough. You open keypad key room lock before tagged key rows. In courthouse hallway, you face notice dispute near marble bench. You rewrite notice template on inspection car hood. You print compliance letter stack for tenants near reception. The CPA slides packet across glass saying $75,000 per month. Vendor trucks crowd damaged apartment lot as inspectors photograph every doorway. You approve one repair beside broken porcelain sink. Above skyline apartment window, you spread inspection maps. At blocked threshold, you face tenant demanding owner presence. You present signed inspection notice from a stepped-back stance. After closing, you review convenience fee drawer. Behind glass office wall, you track staff file flow. You review county heat map printout before eviction calendar. Beside smashed bedroom door, you face immediate filing demand. You timestamp every damage photo for court. At delivery bins, you sort notices by route. After dark, you check wall clock against inspection cars. Branded cars return at night with dirty tires and full camera cards. You inspect empty receipt sleeve after cash payment claim. Behind glass, you catch fast shut cash drawer. You compare tenant payment photo against missing fee record. You read fee discrepancy note left on your chair. You pull security camera still showing cashier theft. Through reception door, you point everyone away from cash drawer. You hold back office speakerphone during cashier's explanation. At reception window, you refund disputed fee checks. You exhale against key room steel door. You build timestamp audit binder from footage, totals, receipts, and logs. Across dual control sheet, you face senior staffers' resentment. You redraw seating chart around cash exposure. Above cash drawer, you aim camera at staff hands. Beside each workstation, you place fraud hotline card. You install numbered drawers and two-person closeouts. Under fluorescent lights, you face tenants holding distrusted receipts. At shutdown, you seal final drawer. You lock employee files beside rent files in both cabinets. Level 5. Regional delinquency shop. At hotel breakfast plate, you defend delinquency numbers. You park leased Tesla Model Y by neglected complex. On assistant's tablet calendar, you review owner calls and legal reviews. A live wall map turns red pins green across 3 counties. You rotate call center staff through repayment calls. You stop manager at SMS approval screen. Over courier bag, you hear late notice complaint. You walk peeling hallway paint with investor owners. Before court calendar, you change beside custom suit jacket. You bid 120-unit contract from separated service lines. At county maps, you update stamped notice packets. Across coffee mug, you face retiring operator resisting sale. A lender taps breakfast folder and says, $240,000 per month. Bullpen phones blink as hundreds of tenant statuses shift by color. You stand at corner office window above the bullpen. Over breakfast slideshow, you show hallway before and after photos. You check county compliance matrix before field dispatch. Outside court, you face tenant advocate's handheld camera. At deadline bins, you reload courthouse notice routes. You study Facebook group screenshot beside crying tenant photo. You open attorney demand letter after SMS campaign. You pause SMS queue beneath warning light. At sales headset, you face pressure about collections. You rewrite outreach rules beside red stalled map pins. You call angry attorney from conference room phone. Under dimmed headset lights, you lower call center volume. You pass courthouse protest sign without security. You replace SMS leaderboard with compliance scoreboard. Beside weekend condo key, you stack emergency call reports. You cut sloppy vendor from photo invoice board. With room-by-room card, you document trashed unit. You refuse harsher messages at sales room whiteboard. Across expanded compliance wall, you cover owner breakfast trophies. You replace pressure scripts with repayment workflow binder. You train managers with owner confidence placard. You roll up collections banner beside institutional signage order. Level 6, Institutional Receivables Platform. At dawn, you cross airport lounge beneath boarding screen. You slide into black SUV beside premium carry-on. You tour Phoenix Property Gate with local manager. In 3-column notebook, you separate failure, hardship, and delay. You challenge portal excuse beside crowded leasing counter. At mid-rise lobby directory, you scan platform assets. Before boarding, you record walkthrough video by Jetway reflection. Dallas boardroom walls fill with portfolio maps before lenders. You answer payout survival question at boardroom microphone. You diagram reserves and handoffs on dry erase board. The lender marks term sheet saying $650,000 per month. In hotel restroom, you change into executive overcoat. You take vendor network call through revolving hotel door. Across vendor pricing card, you reject exclusivity demand. You split vendor territory map to keep leverage. Hotel skyline window glows over regional dashboards and distant portfolio. From hotel conference room, you check 3 city teams. You organize department binders across glass office shelves. You accept council's red pen rejection of sales promise. On approval workflow card, you convert rejection into process. You lead dashboard table meeting with department heads. Beside clenched tie, you find oldest partner asleep. You face wrinkled boarding pass and refuse travel week. In drawer, you touch old strip mall photo. You pause owner meeting after interrupted presentation clicker. From SUV console, you sequence legal, sales, and operations calls. You formalize vendor scorecard sheet after repair mismatches. Regional managers fill hotel ballroom under market banners. You face cancellation threat across owner's leather portfolio. In building lobby, you introduce replacement director badge. You enter abandoned partner office after 2 relationships leave. From parking ramp pillar, you call department heads. You watch 2 dark account tiles on relationship dashboard. At sales war room table, you face rigidity accusations. You build account triage board around accounts. On glass door, you peel partner's name. You join owner walkthroughs with stabilization badge. In black SUV, you grip handle after lost account email. You face regional directors folder before granting authority. On escalation card, you write market level rules. You replace handwritten names with printed org chart placards. At empty CEO chair, you watch department head lead review. 3 regional offices fill video wall grid, solving issues independently. You write account ownership policy against single-person control. From back wall, you watch department head lead meeting. You answer remaining owner beside lobby chair. With owner risk flashcards, you drill market directors. On acquisition map, you circle retiring local operators. Level 7. Rent roll acquirer. Before acquisition dinner, you hide understated watch clasp. You step from black Suburban beneath M&A hotel canopy. Across private dining wine glass, you negotiate earn-out terms. You preserve local office sign mock-up with seller's name. You tour acquired office cubicles under avoided eye contact. Branded SUV convoy moves between 5 acquired offices in 1 week. At illuminated state map, you mark each closed rent roll. You face account manager's coffee thermos over corporate warning. You read handwritten landlord notes before process changes. You inventory old ledger cartons with trust account teams. At penthouse breakfast tray, you review acquisition folders above towers. Conference stage screen animates regional logos behind your entrance. You face private equity lapel pin over integration speed. You defend phased integration board with churn data. Buyer accountant says from tablet, $2,500,000 per month. You cut regional HQ ribbon before local landlords. You note old owner wall calendar inside acquired office. Across crossed-out vendor roster, you face seller objection. You score emergency vendors against repair photos. You replace sticky note processes with numbered workflow cards. Airport boardrooms blur as deal teams mark 5 markets on glass. In Skyline office, you arrange maps beside deal tombstones. You review unsigned employment letter after title demand. You offer retention earn-out card tied to landlord retention. From Suburban call screen, you review earn-out clauses. You hang tailored overcoat beside charter terminal sofa. On director voicemail, you catch walkout warning. You visit bullpen cups and ask what owners fear. You enter abandoned desks after 400 doors threaten churn. You slam Suburban door open outside acquired office. In landlord lobby chairs, you face demands for old contacts. You split 400 doors into rescue pods. At break room tables, you call owners with executives. You hand ringing phone to regional VP, overcoat draped nearby. Across retention term sheet, you push against terminations. You create integration captain badges from remaining staff. You find hidden landlord notebook in local drawer. Through night windshield, you list at-risk clients. You accept box of reclaimed keys from departing landlord. In acquired office lobby, you set command table. Sunrise convoy carries integration captains in every vehicle. You answer reporter's recorder about national ownership. You open service recovery sign-in sheet to landlords. At churn scoreboard, you track transfers and unanswered calls. You leave old sign visible beneath new brand. Across authority memo, you grant local decision rights. You issue temporary authority badge during integration window. Drone view spans acquired offices, vehicles, and market banners across states. You migrate tenant payments on status board amid ringing phones. At stabilized market cluster, you mark the state map. You face seller's empty cup over spreadsheet versus town question. You begin future acquisitions with people risk checklist before price. Level 8. National Rent Operations Empire. Aerial view reveals headquarters campus with branded inspection vehicles outside. You ride chauffeured Escalade past fountains toward executive entrance. You badge into Rent Command Center through chairman access. At video wall grid, you start rent day across time zones. Giant national map shows apartment towers, scattered homes, and payment flows. Across glass tower table, you defend payout timing guarantees. You explain redundancy flow model with reserves and escalation lanes. Finance chair opens board binder saying $8 million per month. You rotate leads through command center queue lights. On Lake Retreat Dock, you take portfolio owner call. Charter stairway rises from tarmac for 3-city acquisition week. You face software founder hoodie over payment team continuity. You place integration chart inside command center autonomy lane. At 1,000 unit monument, you walk portfolio with vendor captains. You host institutional owners beside private dining name cards. Across blocked contract clause, you back compliance chief. You convert blocked clause into pilot market folder. At Dawn Huddleboard, you start regional call routines. Investor Summit Ballroom glows behind a 30,000-plus unit map. You grip penthouse terrace railing above first collected doors. During leadership dinner, you face autonomy demand. You tie market authority scorecard to compliance, churn, and accuracy. In Acquisition War Room, you review retiring operators. You mount old key display wall near headquarters reception. Massive apartment communities roll across regional video feeds in sequence. You challenge processor executive badge over redundancy costs. You point to dual payment rail diagram despite processor's warning. Under outage drill countdown, you rehearse payout failure playbook. You inspect vehicle charging rows behind headquarters service bay. Drone footage sweeps from headquarters to regional offices nationwide. You study engineers' server diagram about rent day limits. You move staged launch checklist across regions. In regional call room, you practice tenant support scripts. You choose commercial for one city and charter for two. National service signing fills glass tower with executives and flags. You verify locked payout approval lane behind command floor. Across board member cufflinks, you resist faster acquisitions. You throttle pipeline until markets survive people shock. On command center walkway, you patrol first-of-month operations. Night vehicle yard shows inspection cars charging under floodlights. You walk apartment tower roof with regional presidents. At 12 region live feed, you present live operations. You face original owner key during acquisition meeting. You read national outage alert freezing owner payouts. You summon regional teams onto video wall. Across president video tile, you allocate backup capacity. You reroute payments by risk tier, market clock, and reserve exposure. At owner call queue, you call owners before local feeds. You take chairman headset for the largest owner call. In quiet cafeteria line, you watch outage clock with staff. Midnight command floor routes work across time zones under bright lights. You print payout confirmation stacks inside secure room. You write monthly drill orders on outage playbook card. Before sunrise, you radio inspection status through yard handset. Fleets roll from regional offices as command center dashboards glow. You stop outage clock when payout files clear again. Headquarters exterior, command floor, and apartment lights glow across the green national map.